Hey, greetings everyone. Welcome to tonight's show, 21st of August 2024. Hope you're all doing well. Beautiful, lovely day here in Sydney. I think it reached 26 degrees in my car that I could see today. So very warm for a mid-August day. So not complaining at all. Yeah, nice to see all of you joining us this evening. Hope you're all doing well wherever you're watching from. I've got a huge show as always lined up for you. And who better to join me tonight than our regular guest and regular host? Of course, we've got Riz from Carloop. Hello, Riz. How you doing?
Hey Tom, going well? How you doing? It's been a bit of a big week for you.
Oh, Riz, has been a huge week for both of us. Nice to see you in Sydney. When was it? God, this week?
Thursday.
No, last week. Last week, Thursday,
Yeah.
yes, for the Zeekr launch in Sydney, of course. Riz and I were fortunate enough to attend that, the Zeekr X being launched in Sydney at Walsh Bay under the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Riz, what do you think of the event?
Yeah, quite a few different, I guess, parts of the media and I guess influencers and others sort of got together to have a look at the Zeekr X. They had three of them there, and then there was a private showcase as well, which Tom, which I think you covered in your video as well, which was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Riz, for joining me for that walkthrough. So nice to have you there, because obviously, we were both in China last month or 2 months ago. Saw the Zeekr X there and a few other vehicles from Zeekr. Nice to see that in Australian right-hand drive, and just to make a few comparisons, of course. But we'll talk about Zeekr very shortly later on in the show. But before we do that, let's say hello to our regular guests and members. Hello, Elizabeth there from beautiful Northern Rivers. Hello. Hello, Jim Donaldson. Hello, Murray S. from mild Western Sydney. Yes, super mild today. Very warm. I don't know about you, Riz. Was it nice and warm in Melbourne too?
Slightly chilly, but
Hmm.
yeah, we did have warm weather earlier in the week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not complaining at all, that's for sure. Hello, Oz Screamer. Nice to see you. Hello, Strolling Sydney. Mark B saying mild winter evening here in Melbourne as well. Hello, Terry. Hello, Steve from Central Coast, New South Wales. Hello, Midge from Western Sydney. Team Seal. Go Team Seal. Hello there, Wayne. Member for 9 months. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Lots of long-standing members on the show, Riz. So good to see. Hello, SWS from New Beith, Queensland. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Hal. Hello, Grandpa. Nice to see you. No more Grandpa jokes tonight, I promise. Well, I can't promise that, but... Paul, hello, Central Coast. Paul, hello there. And Rob S, hello there. Hollywood Tom and Hollywood Riz. I don't know if I deserve that moniker.
Oh,
It's reserved for
Jesus.
Riz, really.
Hey, with the type of vehicles you've been in recently, Tom, I think it's you're way above Hollywood now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that very shortly, Riz. Yes, I was very fortunate to, of course, have a drive of the Rolls-Royce Spectre. Those of you who are members might have seen the video that I popped on there on YouTube just for members this week. So yeah, it's dropping for everyone else on Thursday, and please stay tuned. We've got a very short reel for you at the very end of this live stream, just as a little reward for those who stay all the way to the end. So stay tuned for that, okay? Don't miss that. Hi, Peter from Canberra. Nice to see you, of course. Oh, Jeremy's got a Spectre joke, Riz. Why does the Rolls-Royce Spectre have such a large front grille? Because being an EV, there's nowhere else to cook the snags. Nice one. Thanks, Jeremy. Hey, Stan from sunny Kangaroo Island, of course. Hello there. Oh, and looks like dabbing is off to Shanghai for a few weeks. Yeah, lots of EVs to spot their dabbing. Yeah, take some photos for us. Yeah, you won't be surprised. Ads4 saying apparently Channel 7 covered it. They said 1 in 7 people are intending to buy electric for their next car. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Mainstream media saying the right things. Very good. Yeah, strolling Sydney. Did anyone go to on the new metro extension to Sydenham? Well, I wasn't on the very first train on Monday when it opened, but I had the fortune to actually board the metro today from Chatswood to Gadigal Station in Sydney, and man, that's unbelievable. I just still cannot believe I'm riding a train like that in Sydney, in Australia, let alone. I felt like I was in Singapore, Hong Kong, Paris, London. Like it was amazing, Riz. So next time you're in Sydney, make sure you get on the metro.
gotta
You won't be
gotta check
disappointed.
that out.
Yeah, totally amazing. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you. Riz virtually coming to Canberra. What's that about?
Oh, it was I think it was for the Australian EV Association held a candidates forum, and yeah, they asked me to join for a couple of minutes, say a couple of jokes and then log back out, and that's what I did. So it was I'm glad it was entertaining.
Oh, Riz, you're too humble. You are the hardest working person in the EV industry right now. Seriously.
No, no,
Hands
it's
down. Come on. You're everywhere. Yeah, virtually, real. We see you all the time. It's great. Keep up the
Virtual
good
reality if you combine both. So
work. Augmented reality. Um, hey, Aaron. Driving pure EV in tropical Cairns for Seal. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. Lots of new brands coming, of course. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Changan Deepal coming. Well, we've seen that registered in Australia. That's good. Hello, Simeon. Nice to see you there. Yep. Yes, hello everyone. Well, that's great, Riz and everyone else for joining us tonight. That's fantastic. Yes, I just want to quickly, plug for, of course, the Rolls-Royce Spectre, which I had the fortune of driving 2 weeks ago. Oh my goodness, this is Riz. This is the most expensive car I'll ever drive. It was so luxurious. It says in the press release, it feels like you're on a magic carpet ride, and yeah, hands down, it was the smoothest ride I've ever had in a car. EV, whatever powertrain, it was just amazing, Riz. So
that's fantastic. I can't wait to check the video out. Obviously, members can already see it as well. So I've had a sneak peek, Tom, but yeah, looking forward to it being released later this week.
yeah, that's right. And of course, if you stick around to the end of the show, there'll be a nice surprise waiting for you. We've got a little montage, 1 minute long reel for you all as a nice treat if you stay to the end. So, yeah, please don't log out yet. Hang on to the stream. Yeah, it's a great thumbnail. Yeah, shout out to Rob Mullally, who was able to get that shot for me. He was along for the ride, and Riz, of course, you know Rob from China. He was there with us in Shanghai and in Hangzhou. What a great guy! And he shot that. He took that thumbnail for me. Actually, that was his brief from me, saying you must get a shot of me in front of the car like that. So, great job, Rob. All right. Yeah, Sensei, that's not my mansion. That's definitely not mine, but it's not even my car. But it's definitely my suit, I promise. That part's real. I own that suit. That's the only thing I own, and the shoes. All right, Riz, you got a bit of a special treat for us as well tonight. We've been talking chargers a lot over the last few weeks. And Riz, of course, as you know, hardest working man in the EV industry. We call him the Oracle. That's no coincidence because he knows all about charging. And you've got a bit of a database for us. This will be a really good asset for anybody who wants to invest in the EV industry in Australia.
For sure. So our regular viewers and listeners, stay tuned. I'm going to try and put this up. Let's see. We go here.
Worth the wait, everyone. It's so good.
All right. Here we go.
There we go.
So there's been a lot of discussion around charging infrastructure, and sometimes as EV drivers, it feels a bit uncertain not knowing what's happening in the space. So what we tried to do, Richard Laxton, myself, and the team, is looking at what's happening in the space over the last couple of months. So we mapped out all the new charging sites that have opened, particularly focusing on the DC fast charger sites, and we mapped them out by state. And what we would like to do is to have a quick look at what's happening, and then get you as audience and viewers and listeners, your thoughts. And hopefully you guys, when you spot a new fast charging sites, you let us know here on Ludicrous Feed or tag Tom or myself, and we'll start to collect and we'll showcase it every time that happens as well. Sort of what we do with news and everything else. You guys are eyes and ears on the road. So we broke it down to the state and territory. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a new fast charging site that got picked up in our data in Tassie, but in pretty much every other state and territory over the last 2 months or so, there's been quite a few. One that sort of I spotted here in Melbourne. See if this is the one. So this site here is in West Meadows, which is very close to the airport. Now, Tom, you remember when I picked you up and I needed a charge from the airport after I dropped you off? If this site would have been open a week earlier, then we could have done that. So Eevee Networks at Hungry Jack's in West Meadows, right next to the airport, very close to it. So those Melburnians or anyone traveling into Melbourne, there's other options now apart from the Airport West charging site, which is usually quite busy. So things are starting to happen around the airports.
Riz, are the chargers better at Hungry Jack's?
Look, only time will tell. We've got to make that happen as well. So maybe if Hungry Jack's Australia is listening, maybe that could be the next thing they could promote. Because we know, they've been doing the burgers for so long that now it's time to look at the chargers. Southeast Queensland also, there's quite a few different sites starting to open up. Eevee Networks again opening up at another shopping centre. petrol stations, obviously BP. Hopefully they'll be rolling bigger and bigger sites soon. Moving down towards Sydney, I think there's another EV network site at another shopping center, Willowdale Shopping Center out there, and plenty of activity in Canberra. So yeah, lots happening. And like I said, would love you guys to share any sites that you're seeing, any sites that you're excited about. Drop it in the chat or share and tag it on social media, so Tom and I know, and we can showcase those sites as well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks, Riz. Thanks, Riz. That's great. Thank you, Richard, as well. That's fantastic. Like, honestly, that's a great database, and yeah, it'll be a great asset for many of those who are wanting to invest in chargers in Australia. As Riz said, if anybody sees a charger around, tag me and Riz on X, whatever social media platform you use. Email me and Riz. We'll get it up for you in coming shows, and Riz will correlate the data with this database too. So that's fantastic. Awesome. Well, thank you, Riz. Thank you, Carloop. Thank you, Richard. Good to see.
Awesome.
All right. Let's keep moving on with today's show. And what kind of EV show would we have without some sort of Cybertruck news? We can't go without any sort of Cybertrucks for the week. And here is a crazy wrap on a Cybertruck. Looks like a I don't know, zebra, Riz, I guess.
It could be anything. It could be a zebra. It could be a lion. Could be I don't know. I'm just blown away. This is like silver, black on white, black.
Yeah, that's next level wrap right there. That's very cool. Keep going with Cybertruck. So this is, of course, our good friend Shaquille O'Neal. Apparently he's bought a second Cybertruck. One is not big enough for the big man. He needs two. So he's a little reel, I think.
This is my Cybertruck, but I don't want to ship it from Vegas to Atlanta, so I'm going to just go ahead and buy another one. So I'm going to need another one. Like black on black.
So one for West Coast, one for East Coast, huh?
You want me to hook it up for you? You want another one? You sure?
Yeah, hook it up and call me until it's done.
Hey, you got it. You want it done? Another one? Black on black with the 4G autos? 26s? How's that sound?
Yeah. All right, deal. Do it.
Done.
Tell me
Yo,
nothing else. All right, hook it up.
say less.
What I would pay to sit in a Cybertruck with Shaq, Riz, that would be an awesome experience, right?
That would be quite interesting, I think. We know Cybertruck's got lots of space. It's a big vehicle, perfect for Shaq and Tom to be in.
Yeah, and Riz too, and probably half the crew too.
That's right.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got a Cybertruck cooler for 700 US, so about 1,000 Aussie. Fits into the Cyberfrunk. Very cool. Fits 90 canned beverages.
Wow.
Removable ice dividers. So this is an official Tesla product too for the Cybertruck.
That's pretty much a lot of our live streaming audience can come in, and we could throw multiple parties.
That's right. That's right. Look at that. Oh, is it Cyber beer? Cyber liquor?
One of those. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, if that ever comes to Australia, that's very high on the list, I think, to get. And moving on with Tesla news, we've got a brand new textile interior for the rear-wheel drive Model 3 in Mexico. Looks like this is an exclusive option for Mexico.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Usually, Tesla with the new Highland, they've stepped it up when it comes to interior quality and all the rest of it. But I guess there must be customers there that are looking for a more affordable option. So they've gotten rid of a lot of the heated elements, even ambient lighting is now there's only sort of one color, white. But yeah, these textile seats. So interesting to see. Makes me wonder if Tesla's getting ready for the Cybercab and Model 2, and maybe some suppliers have already started to make the fabric seats, and they may want to just test it out in one market and see what it's like. So we'll find out on sometime in October, I think. But yeah, quite interesting that they're doing that. And I haven't heard any other market getting these textile seats.
Not a bad idea for markets that need them, I guess, and cheaper. Not cheaper, but like more austere-looking interiors. No heated seats, for example. Why would you need heated seats in Mexico, right? I guess I assume it's going to be warm there. Less lighting options. So yeah, I mean, horses for courses. So good to see. Let's take some comments from the audience just about the Carloop charging database. So Richard's saying that we are just going to showcase new stuff on the weekly feed. This is not a comprehensive showcase each week. This is just new stuff that we're going point out, and every so often we will showcase the full 1,000 plus DC sites. So, yeah, nice disclaimer there. Thank you very much. And yeah, we've got some what have we got? Kangaroo Islands telling us lots of chargers in South Australia. Yeah, of course, Nullarbor Roadhouse, Hybrid, Penishaw and Kangaroo Island, a few other RA ones, Snowtown, Elliston, Port Lincoln. Yeah, I mean, RA network has just grown. It's grown a lot in the last 6 months, so good to see. Yep. Yeah, as Richard said, we're only going to show stuff, or this is only stuff live in the last 60 days, right? The database? Yeah.
In this case, yeah.
Cool. And yeah, those other sites are much older than that too, of course, which is good. It's very good. Hal's saying, apparently, what about the US dude who bought 5 Cybertrucks, I assume, hired them out and now 20 on order? Wow. Cyber fleet.
Well, apparently they reckon quietly the clause that said you can't resell your vehicle, all of that sort of stuff is apparently all gone already. So yeah, I guess people can buy them. Just on local Cybertruck news, I saw somewhere on social media today that there was a Cybertruck on the back of a vehicle transporter. So heading to South Australia next, I think.
Oh, okay. Great. All right. So that's good. Left Tassie, left Melbourne, I assume, and then on the way to South Australia. Good. Good. People in Adelaide will be able to see that, hopefully. Good. All right. Paul's asking, did anyone else see the story about Ampol cancelling charger installation plans? Something about not being able to connect chargers to the electric grid?
Yeah, there was a story, I think, that Ampol was, and I think we covered it a couple of weeks ago, and maybe there's more to it now, but it was something along the lines of Ampol's report, like their annual report says, we have not hit our target for what we said and we got grant money for. But then the federal government went again and gave them another $100 million loan to install more chargers. So
that's right.
Go figure. But apparently they sort of said it was to do with grid challenges and other sort of constraints. But, word on the street is that Ampol hopefully is going to be doing a bit more into the future, and that they do have a lot of fast chargers in stock, but just haven't been able to get the connection at some of these sites to make it happen, which, the charger's literally sitting there not connected, or they're in a warehouse waiting for sites to be ready, but the sites are not ready. And you would think Ampol is all about delivering energy. It should be the least of their worries to getting energy to sites so they can connect these chargers. But anyway, I think we'll just watch this space.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm as a consumer, it's a bit disappointing, right? I mean, they're such a big company. Surely, to be able to get the grant money, why couldn't they have rolled this out faster? It's just does. I mean, I'm not in the company. I don't know what's happening, but we've seen other companies roll them out a bit quicker. Ampol, what's going on? You've got the money, you've got the chargers. Do some deals, hey? Get those energy suppliers out there. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that space. Jess Smith, got my first EV, had my Tesla Model Y for a month. Great. Been listening to this podcast for a few months now. Loving the EV life. Well done, Jess. Hey. Congratulations. Justin's got a hot tip for us. Free 11 kilowatt charging at Brisbane Convention Centre P2 car park. Hot tip.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Convention centres. We were at one, Tom, and I couldn't find a charger. Come on. Places where people come, tourists come, people that are attending conferences, got to have chargers.
Yeah,
I think ICC has the NRMA ones.
Yep,
doesn't
that's
it?
right.
So
that's a whole bank of them. Yep, exactly. Yeah, disappointed with Melbourne, I got to say, Riz. Yeah, I was hoping to see them too, but anyway.
Look, it's just the way our government and others work in this state. We have to do the pushing, which is, I think, every one of us here that we go out there and we advocate for EVs, and fingers crossed they'll eventually listen.
Yeah, that's right. We sure do. All right, let's keep pushing. Thank you, Gaffer, for gifting 5 Ludicrous Feed memberships. Much appreciated. That's great. Really, really good stuff. Thank you. Excellent. Here we go. Mitchell saying, I take delivery of a first EV in about 2 weeks, a BYD Seal Performance. Congratulations. Hey. Having never used charging infrastructure before, are there any etiquette rules to observe? I would say number one is to move your car as soon as the charging is done, no matter what limit you set it at. Nothing worse than seeing a car idling. Riz, anything you want to sort of point out?
I guess on road trips where some charging sites are a bit busier, try and charge up to sort of 80-90% if you can. I was at a site recently and there were 3 cars waiting, 2 broken chargers, 4 that were working. Everyone sitting on them was over 95%. So it's the last little bit will take a bit of time, but if you can get to the next charger, that would be helpful to pretty much everybody. So
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, you probably 80% is good. Like the time it takes from 20 to 80 is almost the same as 80 to 100. So if you don't need that extra 20, leave it till the next stop. I think it's a more efficient way to go. So congratulations, Mitchell. Yeah, you'll learn along the way. It's a great journey. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, John's saying they have 100 connectors ready to go to the mains in numerous locations, as on 2GB 2 mornings ago. There you go. Mainstream media reporting that too. All right, let's keep going. Thank you everyone for your comments. That's good. All right, so yeah, Peter's agreeing with us. Road trips should start at 100% at home. I agree, but charge to 80% on the road unless you really need it. Very good. I think it's probably the number one or one of the top 2 etiquette rules to follow.
So I guess, Tom, just a last quick bit on that one. As we start to get faster and faster charging cars, and we start to get more reliable fast charging infrastructure around the country, I think it will just become a standard thing. Like nobody wants to hang around for half an hour to get from 80 to 90 or 100%. Time is money, and for most people, I think, and I know part of the problem will be resolved with more charging bays, bigger sites, all the rest of it. So I think as the cars get quicker and quicker, we'll be spending less time at chargers, which is what everyone wants.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Zeekr with their fast battery last week on the show. 10 to 80% in 10.5 minutes.
Yeah.
CATL's got similar technology. The sensing battery is fast as well. Clearly, we need that infrastructure here in Australia to support it. Of course, the Ioniq 5s and the eGMP platform cars can already charge in 20 minutes or even less. So yeah, I mean, half an hour is okay for some, but some people may need that shorter time to charge for that distance. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that time come down, of course. All right, let's move on. And of course, we briefly talked about the Zeekr launch in Sydney on Thursday last week. I'll put that up here now. So this was at Walsh Bay in Sydney under the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And the important question, of course, with Zeekr was the pricing. We've seen a lot of Zeekr on Ludicrous Feed, of course. Me and Riz were in China 2 months ago, thanks to Zeekr, visiting their factories, battery plants, and so on, learning more about the brand. And then in Sydney last week, they officially launched the Zeekr X. Here it is. To give you a comparison, the Zeekr X is on the same platform as the Volvo EX30. I've done a review of the car already, part 1. And this is essentially the same platform. And we've got the specs as well and the pricing, thanks to Zeekr. There's the specs. We'll go through that in a second. And yeah, that's Zeekr there. That's the harbour right there in Sydney. But in terms of pricing, they told us the indication, so it's not quite the proper price, but under $60,000 for their rear-wheel drive vehicle and under $70,000 for all-wheel drive. What do you think about the pricing, Riz? How does that compare with what's on the market currently?
So, I guess the most common comparison people have been making is around the Volvo EX30. The Zeekr is a slightly bigger car on the inside. And I guess, arguably styled, a bit more modern in my opinion, but, some people like the Thor hammer that comes with the Volvos as well. And Tom, obviously you were driving one recently, so, you're probably a bit closer to the comparison than I am at the moment. But looking at the car, I think it's priced well. I guess the initial demand will be interesting to see in the coming months, and possibly a bit more adjustment to the pricing if need be, but they're pretty well equipped cars.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a smart move by them to give pricing indications, and that way it's out there, and then we get some feedback through the channel, through other means like other outlets, and then from there they can think, okay, where does this sit in comparison to the Volvo EX30? Because that's probably the greatest comparison at the moment. Just from the brief looks I've had between this car and the Volvo EX30, I think honestly the Zeekr X probably has a better looking interior, and arguably probably marginal in looks between that and the Volvo EX30. But of course, a lot of people are going to trust the Volvo just because of the brand. It's been there longer. There's a reputation behind it, the credibility. Whereas Zeekr X obviously is a new brand. It's got to prove itself to the Australian, EV buyer or buyer in general. So that's what's going to be really interesting. Like, how much trust will Australia put into a new brand like Zeekr, even though its parent company is Geely, same as Volvo. It's a very interesting social experiment, which I'm looking forward to covering on the show each week with Riz. But let's have a look at the specs just side by side there. So we've got the rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive side by side. Obviously, you're paying for two motors, faster or more powerful powertrain, more range, of course, faster acceleration, all that stuff. But what really caught my eye was this stuff here, Sentry mode. Look at that.
Ooh.
In the Zeekr X, which the Volvo doesn't have.
And what's a rest mode? Is that a camp mode?
Must be like camp mode, surely. Like pet mode, camp mode. The Seal, the videos I do on the Seal, the most common question I get asked is, where's Sentry mode? So clearly, Zeekr has gone, okay, Sentry mode's important to people. Video is evidence these days. So I'm curious to see how this works in the Zeekr.
Yeah, and I guess, where is it all recorded? How does it... it'd be really cool when they launch this car that there's a lot more, I guess, educational component around it, showcasing how each of these features work, because that's one thing that I think hasn't been done very well in the Australian market just yet, where all of these features, if people understood the benefits, Sentry mode, Tesla people understand, some other EV people also get it, but most people have no clue. And if they could be shown that the car can do all this stuff, that would be sort of, an eye-opener.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, this is the kind of stuff that we need to do, Riz. Like Sensei saying, please do a Sydney to Melbourne driving the Zeekr X and the Xpeng G6, and of course the Rolls Royce. Maybe not the last one. Well, that'd be a very comfortable ride. But yeah, definitely the first two, I think, is very important. That will certainly put a lot of trust, allow Australians to look at that video and go, okay, it can be done. We only need 2 stops to drive from Sydney to Melbourne, not 5 or 6. So that kind of stuff really works, I think, rather than sort of flashy ads, Riz. I don't know about you. I think this sort of real world example works better.
Well, that's it. That's what people want to see. Even remember that little trip we did between Sydney and Canberra and back in that one day? That was a great video. I think it's got quite a lot of views as well, because people are genuinely interested. Can it be done? And things are evolving, right? Charging infrastructure is evolving. These cars charge faster. So Zeekr X, I think it charges at 150 kilowatts DC.
Yep.
I think the Xpeng G6, last time I checked, was well over 200 kilowatts. So as there's more faster charging sites out there, potentially the use of Tesla Superchargers along the way as well. If it can be done.
Yep, that's right. So 150 kilowatt. Now the Zeekr X is NMC battery, same as the Volvo EX30, whereas Xpeng is, I think it's LFP.
It is LFP, yeah.
LFP for the base, the standard, and NMC for the long range one. But they can definitely charge faster, especially the base version LFP, which is pretty impressive.
On the Zeekr X, the infotainment system, you touched on it in your video as well, Tom. I was pretty impressed. We haven't got many cars that have that sort of level of... And you have the experience with your Seal, with your Model Y. What did you think?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, the Xpeng I thought was quite impressive, followed closely by the Zeekr X. They too, if that's what we're getting in Australia, will be very much close to top of the market, very close to Tesla, I've got to say, in terms of responsiveness, UX, the way it's laid out. So I'm looking forward to testing that for Australian conditions. Of course, the cars that we sat in may not have been calibrated properly yet for Australia, but it's certainly looking promising at the moment. So yeah, very good point. Look, apparently VW ID Buzz coming to Australia again. VW's, what's happening here? They keep saying that their cars are coming, but until they actually make it here, I find that very hard to believe. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Every week there's something new. Today I read somewhere that, by the end of the year, they'll have the ID4, the ID5, and maybe the ID3. It's too much. Like, stop teasing us already, VW. Either you get the cars here or you don't.
Yep, correct. Gaffer's agreeing. Yep, wants to see us do a Sydney to Melbourne, but via the coast. Oh, that's a long drive. But yeah, I mean that would probably require a long, about maybe 2 days. I don't know. That's a very long drive. But more scenic, I guess, than the highway. Stan's asking, do we know Zeekr's servicing? Yeah, so we asked that question during the event, and Zeekr are rolling out these cars via franchised dealership model, and the servicing will be done at these dealership service centers too, apparently. So, yeah, Xpeng, I think, have they released the dealership model yet? Not yet, right?
Not as far as we know yet, but I believe it will be similar to a Tesla-like model with fewer experience centers, but obviously having a large coverage. So yeah, we'll find out.
Exactly. Oh, hey, Jason, nice to see you there. That's right. Thanks for all your tags during the week on X. Is the Zeekr X boot larger than the EX30? That one we'll have to measure. We know the Zeekr X is 4.4, EX30 is 4.2. So logic dictates it may not be bigger. Oh, sorry, it may not. Sorry, the X will be bigger, whereas the X30 will be a shorter car. So, don't know. I'll have to measure that properly with a tape measure, of course. Yeah, Richard wants the roller. Okay. Most people will be cross-shopping the Zeekr X and the Spectre. Yeah, that's right. Same, right? Yes, Jess, that's right. Those members who watched my video will know that the excess was $12,000 for influencers for the Rolls-Royce and $5,000 for general media. So
I guess the real question is, how much would Shaq have to pay?
Shaq.
They'd have to pay him 12 grand just to sit in it.
Well, exactly, other way around. Yeah, that's right. Those of you who just joined will know that the video is out for members at the moment, the Rolls-Royce Spectre test drive. That is mostly real, that photo. I'm real, the suit's real, the car's real, and most of the background is real. But yeah, but at the end of the stream, for the last minute of the stream, we'll be showing a short montage, short reel of me in it. But the actual video will drop tomorrow for everyone else at 6 p.m. So stay tuned for that. Should be good. Yeah, looking forward to seeing all your comments too. Yep, it was a great day that Saturday. Yeah, Paul wants an Outback trip in the Spectre. Yep, okay, we'll put that on the short list. And Steve says the Zeekr X will be on his list for the second car. Will look good next to the Polestar. Yep, cool. Hey, Lewis, nice to see you. And Peter says, yeah, in a Tesla it's called dog mode. Okay, I think there was pet mode in the Zeekr spec sheet. Yeah, all right. And oh, Sensei's giving it away. B-roll of Tom Spectre video. Yes, so stay tuned at the last minute of the stream. That'll be coming up. Oh, Peter's saying the Sydney to Melbourne via coast is headwinds in every direction. Ooh, that might affect range. Yep. Yeah, I think highway might be the way to go, Riz, just to show people it can be done. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, that's right. So Johan's talking about the Deepal. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that very shortly. Let's keep going with the show. We've got a few more things to talk about. So next up is this. So this was kind of mentioned during the launch, Riz. Zeekr owners protesting in China that their cars are becoming outdated too quickly. This sounds like a first world problem. Technology is moving so quickly in China that owners are not happy that their cars are being superseded too quickly.
There's quite an interesting sort of dilemma, because I saw that on the flight in to the Zeekr launch, and I know we aren't getting this specific car in the market. I think it's to do with the 007 that we touched on last week, which can charge 10 to 80% in 10.5 minutes. But owners are basically saying, why are the cars evolving so much and there's so much change? And yeah, obviously people are, signing things and saying we want answers. And I think the car in question is that yellow 007.
This is not the Shanghai showroom, is it, that we were at?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the design center or not. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. They look pretty upset.
Yeah.
Don't see any pitchforks, but they're not happy. They're yelling at the authorities. I mean, you look, being a Tesla owner, your car is going to be superseded every couple of years, maybe, buying such new tech. But yeah, this is next level, huh?
It's I think that's where the technology is changing, and I think social media, and how the news sort of spreads. Some of the things that I've seen, it's around that salespeople told some of these owners that, hey, nothing's going to change in the short to near term future, and then all of a sudden it all changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Now, just back on this photo here. So in this shot, you'll see some of the 001 vehicles. These were a crowd favorite on our media trip, Riz, as you know. Everyone loved this sort of shooting brake design. It's just, for me, I love it as well. It's very sleek, but also very practical. It had this suspension up the back where you could lower it down to sort of lift something into the boot, which is fantastic. I love that. But it's just such a nice looking vehicle. The interior is really plush. It's just a shame they're not bringing this to Australia. I think it's a big miss for them.
Well, I think our contacts at Zeekr have tried to gauge with our audience in the past if they'd get a 001. A lot of people have said yes, they would, but maybe we can petition it after they've had the X and the 009 launch in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see. And the 007, of course, is just amazing. Lives up to the name. It's very James Bond-like. Beautiful car. Thank you, Jason, for gifting 5 Ludicrous Feed memberships. Of course, if you've got a membership now, you can watch the Spectre video. It's available to members only. The general launch will be 6 p.m. tomorrow, so that should be good to hear all your comments. But yeah, if you're a member now, big thanks to generous donations from Gaffer, from Jason, a few others tonight. So yeah, really appreciate that, guys. And you can now watch the video after the stream. Don't go just yet. After the stream, all right. Cool. All right, let's keep going. We've got, yes, some news here about the Powerwall. I just saw a comment. Sorry, here we go. Robert asks, just joined. Sorry if I missed it, but have we discussed the Tesla Powerwall 3? Right on cue, mate. We've got quizzical face on screen here asking the question, why no 3-phase backup for the Tesla Powerwall 3? And of course, I couldn't attend this due to work commitments last week, but did a summary anyway of the specs of the Powerwall 3. I've got a Powerwall 2 at home, as you can see there in that picture. So I was curious to see whether it'd be worth upgrading to a Powerwall 3. And if you want the details of that, make sure you watch that video. I pretty much outlay it all in that video.
So just on that, Tom, what happens to, I guess, an owner of Powerwall 2 like yourself? Apparently the Powerwall 3 is not backwards compatible with the gateway and the rest of it. So will Tesla continue to make Powerwall 2s, or will they be like reminds me of the Sony PlayStation. They were making the PS1, and then they made the PSX, and then they made the PS1 Mini. Is that what's going to happen to the Powerwall 2? Is it going to be Powerwall 2 Mini or something like that that's compatible with the gateway?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a really good question. And from the article that I referenced, which was Nirav, thanks Nirav if you're watching, he documented some of the Q&A session, and the answer from Tesla was basically Tesla Powerwall 3 is the new standard, from what I could gauge from that article, which means it looks like they're going to stop producing Powerwall 2, and the 2 and the 3 don't play together. So one is not compatible with the other, unfortunately. If you want to upgrade, you're going to have to get a whole new battery, which for me, I don't know, that's not very eco-friendly. It's like asking the owner to chuck the whole battery out to get a new Powerwall 3 out. I would have hoped they were sort of modular in that regard, but no, unfortunately not. So again, I think that's a miss from my point of view as a Powerwall 2 owner. But just having said that, I did a degradation test, which I'll do a video on as well, but 6.2% loss since 2017, so 7 years, which I didn't think was that bad, actually. If you look at the NMC battery degradation curves for the Tesla Model S and X, it's about right. So again, I'll make that in a video, make a note of that in video coming up. But 6.2% is pretty good. Have you got a Powerwall, Riz, at home?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. You got 2 Powerwall 2s.
Oh, sorry, no, Powerwall 2. I'm not that rich.
Sorry, just one for each Spectre, I thought maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. All right, so 6.2% degradation. So for now, I'll just keep my Powerwall 2. And the Powerwall 2's got a 30% warranty. So if you lose more than 30% of your battery capacity in 10 years, then they'll give you a new Powerwall 2. So it looks like I'll be keeping my Powerwall 2 for a long time, which is good. Not a bad thing. Peter asks, will there be a market for secondhand Powerwall 2 when some owners choose to upgrade? Yeah, you would think so, right? Especially with not that much degradation, it's probably worth a nice secondhand Powerwall 2.
Well, that's right. I mean, I wonder how they're going to do this. Like, I guess people aren't ripping them off the walls. Maybe there's some sort of a refurbishment program. I don't know. Maybe the Tesla have to listen to the owners, right? Like, it's not like everyone that doesn't have one will want a Powerwall 3 straight away. That will be at the default option. But then existing owners, if there has to be some sort of an incentive or take it off our hands and, something along those lines. Or maybe they'll come up with a gateway that works with 2 and 3. I don't know.
Yeah, correct. I mean, yeah, I think if you can somehow get a Powerwall 2 secondhand with only 5% degradation, that's a pretty good buy in my opinion. Yeah, Paul saying Powerwall 2 electric go-karts for the kids. That'd be pretty funny actually. Yeah, and thank you to Ads4. Yeah, 5 Ludicrous Feed memberships, much appreciated. Thank you. So if you're now a new LF member, then you can watch the Spectre video after the stream. So watch that tonight. 197 viewers. Thank you. I saw over 200 at one stage, so thank you very much. 40 minutes in. Great. We've got a few more articles to go, so keep watching. NB's got a tip for us. The Cyberster, NG Cyberster, is down at MG Brookvale in Sydney on the Northern Beaches for the next week. Engineering model, not for test drive. So if you want to go take a look, it is there. At Sydney's Brookvale MG.
I got to sit in one a couple of weeks ago when they brought it into Melbourne for literally a day. And I've got to say, it's very premium. Like, it's sort of the most premium sort of interior. It has like Bose sound system. Didn't get to try it out, but yeah, quite a nice car. Just not too sure about its pricing. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a few people around the country that are happy to pay 130 odd grand for an MG. It is a halo car for them, but yeah. And also, since we are talking about EVs, last I heard, MG is likely to introduce their all-electric IM brand in the next 6 to 12 months.
In Australia?
In Australia.
Oh, great. Okay.
So
we saw them in China too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They look pretty good. Okay. Keep an eye on that. The MG Cyberster again is asking for a trip, Riz, I think to Canberra or something, just to prove it can be done. A nice day trip. So
the team's listening because they helped us out last time with the MG4.
Absolutely. Yep. Happy to see that on the road. Okay. Right. Yeah, thank you, Gaffer. Yes, please click the like button. I'm very bad at promoting that, clicking like and subscribe and all that stuff. Just not a very good YouTuber from that point of view. But thank you, Gaffer, and everyone else for reminding me. Let's keep going. So we talked about chargers earlier, and so Tesla's starting to roll out emails and reminding us where they're installing chargers. So I got one for New South Wales, obviously being a Sydney-sider, but other people are receiving theirs for their home state. So Michael is talking about new chargers coming to Victoria. So there you go, Brighton, Morang, Port Campbell, South Melbourne, Traralgon.
Yeah, now there's been some sort of an issue here because South Melbourne was open a week or so before this email went out. But having said that, it's a good thing. I think Tesla's doing it finally. And I saw on social media some people post stuff on in Queensland, a fair few sites in Southeast Queensland. Tom, what sites were there in your sort of, do you recall, around New South Wales?
Yes, I might have filed the email away already. Let's have a look.
That's all right. All good.
Oh, no, I've got it here. Look, coming soon to New South Wales, we've got Alexandria, Armidale, Bankstown, DY. Oh, DY's good. That's close to where I am. Gosford, Moonee Beach, Narrabri, Parks, and Waterloo. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's a few in Sydney there, which is good. DY would be good for the northern beaches because, yeah, Chatswood is now up here. And hopefully all these will be open to non-Tesla EVs as well. I went to Chatswood today, Riz, to check it out. And yeah, great location if you're on the North Shore of Sydney. And it's also open to non-Tesla EVs. So I'm really happy.
Ooh.
I can test all my non-Tesla EVs there instead of driving out to Campbelltown each time. So great stuff from my personal point of view. Yeah, how? Just EVs, but not cars. But the Brisbane Rapid Transit Metro system looks awesome. 150-seat articulated EV buses. All use fast charging and have massive solar at the depot. Great work.
Are they running already? Are they running? Like that? I've seen some photos. They look awesome.
This is the like trackless trams, right?
That's
kind of
the
thing.
one, yeah.
Yeah, they look good actually. I saw them. They're like big bendy buses, but they've got their own lanes and stuff. Much cheaper than building a metro like Sydney, but you know, different horses for courses, of course. But yeah, looking forward to seeing them. If they're electric, that's great. It's gonna be nice and quiet on the roads, having them around. That's good. So I didn't realize they were actually like battery electric if they need to be charged. Interesting.
Yeah, they're fully electric.
Oh, wow.
I was up at a conference at in Brisbane earlier in the year, and one of the guys that was heading that program gave a talk on the stage that I was running, and it looks really cool. I want to see it, and yeah, potentially we might get to see it in the coming couple of weeks if things go according to plan, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should take a trip up there to have a look if they
That's right.
once they're live. Yeah, Ads4's got a first world problem. Gosford will be good, but then I have no excuse for visiting the in-laws. Hey, that's the trade-off, right? You can't say there's no charges up there anymore. Tesla's got your back, sort of. All right, let's keep going for now. So Lewis is saying Electric Vehicles Australia channel has a vehicle about them. They'll have 50 kilowatt chargers at several places and larger ones at the depot. Oh, good. Excellent. Good info. Excellent. All right, let's move on. And we've got a priority Tesla supercharger in Europe. I think this is in Finland. This one's in Finland.
Wow.
This is good to see. So yeah, priority. I actually saw this in the UK as well. Not Tesla, but we saw, might have been GridServe. They had like accessible chargers where it's like a larger spot. I thought it was really good actually, having that design. So this is great accessibility for all, not just able bodies, which is good. I think we touched on this too, Riz, a couple of weeks ago maybe. RACV committed to significant upgrade of all its existing and new charging stations. So getting rid of tritium, I think, and putting in chem powers. Great to see.
Yeah, I saw a post today of the ones at Ballarat, which has been, I think, one of their troubled sites, being lifted onto the back of a truck, and in the background you can see the new chem power units. So hopefully it's an easy swap for them, but yeah, the quicker they can do it. I mean, there's not that many sites. Last time I checked, I think it was under 8, maybe 6 or 8 sites. So, the RACV team hopefully are doing some good things and making it happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, of concern, I think, on the Hume Highway or Hume Freeway would be Euroa.
Yeah.
And also Barnawartha, on the border there. I think get rid of those tritiums. Oh no, shit, Barnawartha's ABB, right? So maybe they're okay. But ChemPower I found in the UK very easy to use. I like the fact they've got this web-based monitoring where you can just scan the QR code and it's on your phone instead of downloading an app. So I thought that was quite handy, actually. So yeah, really good charges. Dabbling saying that the Brisbane Metro is scheduled to start in October, so not too far away, a couple of months. And Richard says the RACV photo that we just put up is Mo on the Princess Highway. The 350 kilowatt units have been very poor the last few days. Okay, that's good to know. Now, questions from Sensei for us, Riz. Is Nio's right-hand drives coming to Australia in the next couple of years? Do we know?
Don't know officially, but I think the directive is pretty clear in China. Export, which means doesn't matter if it's left-hand drive, right-hand drive. So hopefully we get to see some next year, and hopefully they can bring their swap stations. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yes, that would be cool, hey? Yeah, seen those not in real life, but on social media. They look really good. Just 5 minutes, you're out. No need to stop and wait. Australia's a very attractive market at the moment, as is New Zealand. We're tariff-free for Chinese EVs, so yeah, I'm sure Nio's looking at us and thinking about it, I'm sure. So I don't know. I mean, Riz is the man. He'll let you know. Don't worry. We'll find out very shortly.
That's it.
If it's true. Yeah, that's right. John O.D. Nio would be good to see here, and swap stations would be 100% epic. Totally. Okay, let's keep going, and we are seeing software updates from BYD, which is good. I think BYD is probably second to Tesla in terms of rolling out upgrades and listening to feedback, which is really good. I've received 3 already this year since I took my seal delivery in December. So now we're in August, so it's like one every couple of months, which is really good. This is 1.3 in Ireland. And we've got really interesting things like, so new languages. Oh, by the way, every time you see this overseas, it means it's coming pretty soon in Australia. That's why I'm interested in this. EV trip charger planning. So this is something we've been looking forward to in the seal, which doesn't have at the moment. So what I mean by trip planning for EVs, for those who don't know, it means that you can plug in where you want to go. Let's say I want to go to Melbourne from Sydney, and it will tell you where to charge each step along the way. So anybody at the moment with a BYD, with an Android automotive vehicle like Volvo, Polestar, Ford, Mustang Mach-E, you can do that already, but currently the BYD systems don't have that. So having this will be really, really handy. So looking forward to seeing that. Seat heating shortcut switch. Okay, that's good. Currently, you got to sort of press a few menus. Add defrost mirror heating switch. Continuous dialogue, wake up free command. Okay. Now, what's really interesting here is intelligent voice recognition accuracy and multi-accent capability of English. Right. So this is really curious how they're going to implement this multi-accent capability. Sometimes the Teslas have difficulty like understanding the Australian accent. So let's see if the BYD can get this right. Curious to see.
Oh, look, with the Tesla, I just, I think it's a good thing because then you can practice your American accent. So it's like Carl, Tom.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a video on accents, but I might get in trouble for appropriating accents. So maybe I shouldn't. I'll just test it in private. Okay. How says drove a dealer, demo dealer seal on the weekend, appeared to have trip planning. Oh, okay. Really? Interesting. Maybe it's got 1.3 already. Okay. Strolling Sydney, lately by BYD C Line 6, which is the hybrid, has been laggy with the voice assistants and hope they added to search songs on Spotify using your voice instead of the screen. Okay, cool. Gaffer says, Tesla Nav speaking Australian place names makes me want to tear my ears off. Oh. There is a British lady, actually. There's an American one and a British lady. If you put on like British English, I think makes it a bit more palatable.
Well, I feel sorry for the Kiwis.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the places there in Maori, so it's like normal common roads.
Very true. Oh, look at that. Thanks, Jez. Member for 6 months. Much appreciated. And yes, smash the likes. Thanks for reminding me again. I keep forgetting to say it. All right. So BYD, speaking of, they had their, what was it, the world's biggest test drive or something like that over the weekend. And they were giving away free chargers with every seal ordered on that day. So there we go. Worth $1,000 apparently.
That's right. So these are the chargers that Luke Todd said were $500. Are currently being sold for $500, but are worth $1,000 and were free last weekend. So hey, anything's better than nothing. I think it's a good thing. Do we know if they're 7 kilowatts single phase only chargers?
Oh, good point. Did anybody buy a seal on the weekend at the world's biggest test drive? Did anyone get a free charger? Did they know? Let us know in the chat if you did. And $1,000 cash back apparently too. There you go. It's not a bad deal, I guess, if you were going to buy one anyway. All right, so we talked about the... Strolling saying there's 7 kilowatts. There you go. Thanks for that, Strolling. And verified by Midge as well. Thank you. All right, so we talked about the Deepal S07. So let's put that up on the screen. And I think, Riz, you covered the story. So walk us through what happened here. Deepal S07.
So apparently, randomly, this vehicle appeared in the ADR's approval Australian design rules rover platform, where once a vehicle's gone through the certification, it appears as if it's allowed to be on the road. So that's sort of the first step most manufacturers have to go through. This vehicle's made it to the list. One battery electric vehicle variant, 160 kilowatts of power. In China, this car is sold as a plug-in hybrid as well as a pure electric version. So this was the pure electric one. Size, I think, is similar to a Model Y, 4.75 meters long. Appears to have good range, over 400 kilometers of range. We don't know a lot about it yet. I was literally scouring the Thailand website to see what's there, and a lot of these shots are from there. So here's the right-hand drive that they sell in Thailand. Quite a minimalistic interior, looks pretty cool. And NMC battery, 485 kilometers of range, 30 to 80% in 35 minutes. So it must not charge very fast, but it's good. Looks 6 colors are sold in Thailand. From the front, it reminds me of one of those Lamborghini sort of Urus or whatever they call the SUV version. But more options are better. So hopefully we'll know more in the coming couple of months.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this like the logo? It looks very much like a Tesla. It's got a T, I think. This could be the one I'm thinking of. Changan Deepal.
So this is sort of like so the company that makes this car is called Changan, and Changan apparently is one of the oldest companies that makes cars in China. They've been making cars for 50 odd years, but prior to that, they were doing something else. So from the age of the company, they've been doing stuff for a long time. And they seem to be selling quite a few units, more than what Xpeng sells every month. I think they sell 20 or 30,000 units every month, and Xpeng's sitting at about 10,000. So Changan also makes EVs for Huawei and Aito brand that we saw in the stores in Hangzhou.
Yeah.
So these guys know how to make cars, and like I said, look pretty cool. It'd be good to see it in flesh. And if they're selling it in Thailand, they're bringing it here. So yeah, it would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, so there's the logo there from this little picture here. That's like almost like a T. I remember seeing this very early when they was released and like getting tested in Thailand as well. I'm sure some of our viewers have actually sent me photos of it charging in Bangkok. And it's like, yeah, I think it's being like touted as like very much a Model Y copy. You went through the specs already, as you said, 4750 millimeters. So yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same length as a Model Y. Yeah, curious to see. I mean, do we know who's distributing in Australia, or no one knows at this stage?
I don't know about that one yet. But I have heard whispers that it's one of the bigger vehicle distributors that distribute cars today. They may have something to do with Subaru, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Riz. That's great. Good information too. So we will definitely keep an eye on that. It's lovely having someone like Riz to scout that for us. You didn't even need to wear running shoes to get that information. Just well,
that's right. It came to me.
That's right. Thank you, Riz. Yeah, that's good. I mean, look, another Chinese brand, more competition. You know, sure. Are they flooding the market with cheap EVs, as the mainstream media like to make out? I think, you know, it's a good thing. Competition hopefully drives prices down. As long as they're good quality, Riz, I don't mind. Happy to review them all.
That's the key. And I personally don't think these cars can be of anything less than top quality stuff. Because, as we know, in most manufacturing countries, there's the stuff for the domestic market and there's stuff for the international markets. And generally, they're slightly higher quality, especially for those that are going through the export channel. So you don't want to have a bad impression in the beginning. So these cars, given they've been selling them in Thailand, I think will be just fine. If you Changan, whoever is distributing, if you're listening, Tom needs to get behind the wheel of one.
Yeah. According to Sensei, Changan, yeah, no, I don't have any relation to Changan. It's got the same surname, but no, I wish there was some sort of empire somewhere that I could lay claim to, but no, there's no congenital money there, unfortunately. I wish. Yeah, that's true, Oscar. Whoever's distributing Citroen would be looking for a new brand. That's very true.
Yep.
So, correct. Okay, thank you, Riz. That's good. Good spotting there. And I just wanted to quickly show this one too. This is one of our viewers, Scott, who tagged me about Eevee. I think that's how I pronounce it. EeveeMobility.com. They do fleet charging. They'll be starting to charge from here on. It used to be a free app apparently, so this is good for fleet EVs. All right, so that's something you should know. Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. I wish I got money for my name too. Yeah, I'm with you. I think all of us do. Maybe if I show my Spectre photo to people, maybe that might help. Yeah, speaking of which, if you were lucky enough to get a membership tonight by one of our viewers, you will be able to watch the Spectre right after this stream. So, yeah, it's good. Now, speaking of, moving on with the Chinese brand. So this is Xpeng CEO pushing a Xpeng G6 to a charging station after completing a 600-kilometer range test during a live stream.
Now, Tom, we talk about this is a people's stream, and we're here for the people. Now, this man, Mr. Xiaopeng himself,
yes,
he is a people's person.
Yep.
And now he goes to the US and he openly says, "Hey, anyone's got Tesla FSD latest version, I'll drive it." He does a live stream, puts it onto YouTube, gives his impressions. There he is, a couple of weeks later, trying to push the car that he wanted to get, and even the lady in the truck, I think, is trying to give him a hand, saying, "Hey, do you need anything?" So he's saying, "No, I'll do it myself," and that's what he's doing. So really good to see, and this sort of stuff is what connects a lot of these CEOs with the rest of the public to say, "Hey, just like us, he'll push a car too."
Yeah. I mean, look, the Xpeng that Riz and I drove in Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, was quite promising. Riz, I thought the software was really good. The autopilot, which we didn't try, but apparently it's almost very close to Tesla. XNGP, that their FSD version. Autopark was impressive, very quick. So this is one to look out for, I think. The Xpeng G6, and the back looks quite good too. I got to say, it's quite a nice looking vehicle. Good shape.
Yeah, one thing we haven't touched on, and we probably will on the next stream, is by that stage, Xpeng would have officially launched their Mona series, which is a sub brand that's supposed to be more affordable. Mona, which stands for Made of New AI, affordable, full self-driving equipped type of vehicle. So that should be, I think, being handed over to first customers by our next live stream. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned indeed. Thank you. Yeah. A lot of people wanting money for their last name too, like Lewis wants a Jeep Cherokee Laredo, sorry. You and me both. Hello, Tassie Eevee. Nice to see you there. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think, where is it? John Bentley wants a Bentayga. Yep. I'm with you, John. I hear you. Thanks, Neil, for being a member. Much appreciated. That's great. And yeah, lots of people watching tonight, so thank you very much. 228 is at the hour mark. Thank you so much. Really, really very humbled by that. Awesome. All right, we're almost at the end of the show, and don't forget, we've got a special 1 minute reel at the very end of my Rolls-Royce drive. Just a 1 minute reel, just a teaser, just to whet your appetite before the real thing drops tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Not many media outlets have actually test driven this car. I don't think there's many in Australia, to be honest. So yeah, could be one of the first to drive this car. So I was very fortunate, and did not damage it, thankfully, because there was a $12,000 excess on this car for influencers, which I guess I fall under. $5,000 for normal media. So yeah. Anyway, stay tuned to the very end. 1 minute reel for those who stay tuned to the end. So yeah, keep watching. Now we talked about Nio a bit earlier on. So this is the Nio Onvo.
Yes.
The L60.
Yeah, so this car, they did everything they could to hide the interior until the very end. So they showed everything else. Even those that did full reviews of the car were only allowed to show the outside, couldn't show the inside. And I think, Tom, if we scroll down and we look at the interior, I think we may know why. That interior shot. Tom, I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Riz. Yes, so not real yet? Is that why?
No, it is real, but it looks like another vehicle we know all too well.
Oh, okay.
So it basically looks like the new Model 3 interior.
It does. Yes.
But that's not a bad thing, find what works and implement it. So really looking forward to drive reviews out of China to see what it's really like.
Yeah, no drive cluster screen either. Interesting. Yeah. Looks good. I mean, it's hard to tell obviously with the rendered shots, but why are we getting so many ads? This is crazy. It's like Ad City.
Yeah, this website, they want you to become a member. See up at the top right, join ad free.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. That's all right. They're normally pretty good articles, but I just felt like a lot of ads today. Yeah, okay, another brand. I wonder if they'll have the battery swap as well, like all the other Nios at the moment.
I've looked into this, and apparently they do have battery swap, but they're not compatible at the regular Nio battery swap stations, or majority of them. I'm not sure why that's the case, but apparently they have to have their own special swap stations. So fingers crossed, as this car gets out there, we'll find out more and more about what are some of the limitations. But this is supposed to be the most affordable vehicle. So it's Nio's affordable sub-brand called Onvo.
Yeah, good to see. Again, SUVs are the flavor of the month, every month.
But what's going on in that market, right? Like, remember, once upon a time, people had affinity with BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, any brand. Nowadays, these car companies, just to stand out and to get a new crowd wanting to buy their cars, they're creating sub-brands. BYD has done it with, Yang Wang and Denza and other Fangcheng Bao. Nio doing it with Onvo. Xpeng doing it with Mona.
Yep.
It's really interesting times.
I mean, Geely's got about 1,000 sub brands as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots happening. MG's got, what was it? We just talked about it.
I am.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, interesting trend, isn't it? Yeah, I guess trying to differentiate luxury and everyday and whatnot. Yeah, interesting. All right. Richard's got a good point. Does anyone feel that pushing a modern vehicle is difficult? Hard to find a place not to dent. That's true, actually. Very lightweight materials these days being made with these cars. So, good one. But if anyone can do it, Mr. Peng can do it. Sure can. All right. Good point with ads. Don't need a drive cluster if you have a head-up display. Very true. Now, just for a bit of fun, before we get to the Spectre reel, Roland from Zapped saying that the Delorean DMC-EV will be rebirthed. Delivery starting next year. 299,000 US.
This was being thrown around for a while, and people had deposits on it. So yeah, $300,000. I mean, Cadillac sells some of their cars for that much. So yeah, US made, 300 grand, pocket money.
Yep. Pocket money. Yep. You can sell your Spectre, Riz, and get some spare change after buying this car.
That's exactly right.
70 kilowatt hour battery, 250 miles, 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. Bit ho-hum now. We can see faster cars than that. You'd think a DeLorean would be faster. NACS Tesla charging standard. Okay, cool. Yeah, stainless steel. We'll see. Moving right along. So Richard tagged me in this one. Gavin, our good friend Gavin in New Zealand, got to play with the 200 kilowatt hour mobile rapid charger. That's a big battery. You can power your entire job site and charge your electric heavy equipment. That's a ute towing that thing. So that's a big battery. 200 kilowatt hours. The Spectre was 100 kilowatt hours. So two of those. And thanks Rob for tagging us in this latest electric hypercar Rimac. Did I pronounce that right? Rimac Nevera R, world's quickest car, 0 to 100 in 1.81 seconds. It's insane. 1550 kilowatt. That's nuts. I wonder whether Richard Hammond will get one of those again. Like he did last time in Top Gear. Now, almost Spectre time, everyone. Hang on. Waymo Chaos. Here we go. Car park full of confused driverless AI taxis in San Francisco causing misery for locals. Bit of clickbait there, but I did have a look at the video. It looked pretty funny, actually. I guess, look, on serious note, I suppose this is a possibility. This could happen with FSD. You know, you never know, but I don't know. How do we turn these off? If it's poor neighbors watching this, it's going to be hard. Okay, let's keep going. And yeah, that might be it, actually. Let's take some comments real quick before we do the Spectre video. Jason's saying, can it go back forth in time? We're talking about the DeLorean here. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know if there's a time or a flux capacitor, to be honest. What's the 0 to 88 mile per hour speed? Good question. Yep. Plus, you're back to 1955. No charges. So, whoops. Yeah, that's true. No charges. Top speed 88. Yep. Zeekr is the fastest 0 to 100. That's true. Yeah. So does the Volvo too. 0 to 100 in 3.6. Thanks, Chewy, for gifting that membership. Much appreciated. Thank you. All right. Well, Riz, I think it might be Spectre time.
That's
Spectre
it.
time. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Riz, as always.
Always good to be on, Tom. The viewers and the listeners make the show happen. So yeah, really excited. Keep an eye out for anything new and the charges. And now for a very, very special sneak peek into Tom and his Rolls-Royce experience.
That's right. What a day it was. And thanks everyone for joining us as well on this Wednesday, 21st of August, 2024. Very mild and balmy Sydney evening for us. Hopefully it's nice as well wherever you are watching. It's been great. If you're a new member tonight, which I can see a lot of, thanks to all the membership gifts, stay in there because now you can watch the full video as well after the stream. But we've got a 1-minute reel just to whet your appetite. Yeah, should be good. Otherwise, from Riz and myself, thank you so much. We're going to sign off with this montage. Thanks to my good friend Rob Mullally, who was with us in China with Riz, doing all the beautiful drone footage, which we have also for the Spectre tonight. So here it is, the Rolls-Royce Spectre, ahead of the launch tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So from Riz and myself, thanks everyone. Until next week, stay safe, and as always, happy charging. Take care. Bye now.